Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Alberta, Canada. So if you're in Canada and you need a demonstrator, I'm happy to help. If you already have a demonstrator, make sure you do your purchases through them, but you are still welcome to watch and get ideas. The more the merrier. If you're watching, please comment. Let me know that you're watching. Feel free to ask questions. If you can like and share my video, that always helps. So today I'm kind of pulling out, it's not an old product, but it's been around for quite a while. It's the Mixed Media Florals Suite, I think is the whole shebang for it. It's on the online exclusives if you're looking for it. When I turn around, I'll show you the whole suite. I'm using pieces and parts of it today. I thought it was a good one to go with the technique of cropping because they're quite large florals. And I don't know about you, but I never think to kind of offset my stuff. Like if it cuts it out, you know, you kind of center it and off you go. So I'm out of my comfort zone and doing some cropping. So if you don't have this suite and you have some larger florals or any kind of print and you want to play along, grab something large and you can hopefully get inspired to craft along. I do have, last week was my 200th video. And so as a thank you for watching, yay, it's my 200th video. I decided to do a draw, and I said I was going to do a draw for one for my Facebook and one for YouTube. And hi, Yolande. So for Facebook, the winner was Lisa, but I know Lisa's in the States, so I can send you cards, but not product. And Yolande was the winner for YouTube. So you get... I will be sending you this Starstruck embossing folder. I know you like hopefully it'll be good for your jelly printing stuff. All right, that was from last week. So this week we're on to, like I said, the Mixed Media Florals. Two other things, Stampin' Up! Just as monthly, they've released three new kits, I believe, in the kit line. And one of them, well, they're all cool, but one of them is like it's a bouquet of flowers that you can make. It looks really cool. I don't have them yet, but you can go online. You can go into the store and look under kits and they will be there. And they also just put out all the last chance products for retiring. Not all of them, but a whole lot of them. And so there's some really good deals to be had there if you are looking for discounted items, the last chance list. So if you go under shop, it's specials and last chance items. And yeah, so that's what's going on for April. I can't believe it's already April. And I'll turn you around and we'll get started. Okay, I'll try not to hang up while let's see if I can, oops. I zoom in a little, not a lot. All right. Then we need to find it to see comments. I can see the comments on my phone when you're facing me, but then I have to switch it up when I turn it over. So hopefully, oh, there we go. Oh, hi, Linda. Hello, Yolande. All right, so the Mixed Media Florals Suite. It's a big one. And I think I've played with pieces and parts of it before, which I'm doing again today because there's so many pieces and parts. It's hard to play with it all, especially for just a live. So there's the Mixed Media Florals Memories More cards, card pack, and that is in the mini catalog. Don't ask me why it's all split up. So these ones match the suite, but these ones are in the current mini catalog. Then the rest of this stuff is on the online exclusives, and it can be purchased as a suite or it can be purchased in pieces and parts if you don't want it all, because it has 2 stamp sets. So it has the sentiments and, like I said, the florals. They're really nice big florals. Perfect for this time of year with the tulips. And then it's got the matching dies for each of the stamp sets. So this one cuts out the florals and then has some extra pieces and parts. It also, which I forgot to do, I'll have to add them. It has these cute little ladybugs and you can cut them out. I didn't put them on my card, so I'll have to add them. And then it's got the dies to go with the sentiments. And it's got the embossing folder, the plaster painting. I'm pretty sure this, oh, I might have mixed it up. No, I'm pretty sure this is part of it. And then it has a whole set of designer series paper. The paper is, I mean, they always have the muted side, right? But the other side is quite bold. So if you like bold and you like fun colors, then this paper might be for you. None of the paper cuts out with any of the dies on this one. Just sometimes there's pieces that you can cut out with the dies. Oh, I was saying, Elon, that I drew your name for the YouTube for last week's 200th video. So you get this embossing folder, which I thought you might use in your jelly plate stuff. I know you always do cool things. And then it has I think these go with. They don't look like they go with, but I'm pretty sure when I looked it up, it's the low profile dots, which are super pretty. So that is the entire suite, which we are going to use pieces and parts of. I just want to keep out what I need and set aside what I think I needed like a rolly cart to put all my kind of used to set aside. All right. Okay, so for the first card, we've got, and I did try to pull in a few last chance items that are good deals right now. You know, the usual. I was actually, I was putting in a pre-order yesterday and I actually was tempted and purchased a few last chance items, even though they're retiring. You know, we can use retired stuff because it's just such a good deal. And it was stuff that was on my list that I never got. And so I bought a few things. All right. So like I said, today is going to be kind of focused more on cropping. And so for this first one, I'm going to do the cropping using a frame. And this is where these countryside corner dies come into play. So this is one of the ones that's in the last chance items, and they are currently $27.30 instead of $39. So if you like layering dies, these are a good one. They're a really good shape. So I cut out a bigger one and a smaller one, and I'm simply going to glue them together like a frame. You could just have one and do a frame with it. You certainly don't need, so this one is not one that has the stitching on it, but I really like the shape of these ones. And if so, you might wonder, how do you make sure it's centered and fits? You can, I don't know if you can see, let me get this. So that I use glue, so first of all, so I have some movement, and I find it's so, I don't know if you can see that. There's a bit of blue sticking out the top. What I would do is just do a quick, you could cut it with your scissors, but I find it gets a little bit jagged. So you just like a very fine edge. Make sure your cutter is sharp. And then, oops, you can see the blue got caught in there. And then you would never know that it didn't quite match. But if you cut your blue a little bit smaller than the white, it gives you a bit more wiggle room also to fiddle and center it. Okay, so these are the pieces and parts. So this is just a piece of designer series paper from the suite. You could use it this way or the other way. In my original card, I used it this way, but I might try and flip it over once we get moving. Oh, the other part of this that I forgot to mention is because they are such big flowers, and especially on a live like this, or for people who aren't crazy about coloring, these are some ways of not coloring, or in one of the cases I do some coloring, but it's really quick coloring. So you don't have to feel like you gotta get your blends out and do this amazing, or watercolors or whatever, do this amazing intricate coloring. I mean, coloring, I enjoy coloring. I do not enjoy coloring during a live, because I feel like you guys are gonna be bored watching me color. And I feel like I'm just taking up a lot of time that is not, unless it was a specific coloring technique or something. So this one, I just stamped it, and I'm gonna cut it out using the dies. And you're gonna see, I am barely, actually I'll color it before, I'm just gonna take my blends, and I'm taking the nib, the fine tip, I don't know what you call it, and I'm just gonna do the dots on my flower. I really like these flowers. They could be like just daisies that are drooping, but I think they're called cornflowers. There's a new set in the new annual catalog that has these beautiful cornflowers. It wasn't available for pre-order, unfortunately, because that was the one I really, really wanted. But it'll be on my list. Keep your eyes out for it. I did just order my annual catalogs, so if you want your copy of the annual catalog, if you've purchased from me in the last 6 months, you will automatically get one. If not, reach out to me if you are wanting one. All right, so I have cut this out. I went and cut it. I didn't bring in my big boss. I keep telling myself I'm gonna put a camera over there and just flip it over when I'm doing the cutting cam or something, but I haven't done that yet. So this is all the coloring I'm gonna do for this flower. And what's gonna give me the color is my background. So I could do it this way, or I could do it this way. It gets a little bit lost, but when you put the frame on, it does pop a little bit more. What do you think? I think the other one makes it pop. This one gets a little bit lost, I feel like. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna put dimensionals on here. Well, put your 2 cents in. And then I kind of have to decide, let me just make sure, I felt like this might be too big for my, I think it's a little bit bigger. I'm just gonna trim this down. Why do I keep putting my cutter? I have to reach for it. Just take that down a notch. It was okay height-wise. Let's see. Maybe I'll just give it a little hair trim. Just to be sure it's not hanging out. Better with the stripes. Okay, I agree. You like it on the other side. What's the other side, Dylan? The stripes or the flowers? I'm guessing because I had it on this side, you meant this side? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna add glue to this so it has some movement time while I try to decide where I want to put it. I'm gonna assume I'm putting it on the stripes. And I want to put it off to the side because you know, you could center it, but then that kind of looks a little bit off. So I'm gonna put it off to the side here. And I'm not pushing it down because I want to see if I'm happy with where it is, and I think I am. Well, you like it on the flower side. Oh, shoot. Let me try it because my other one is on the stripe side, so I can show you both. All right, well, let's see. Like that. Okay, let's try that. And then we'll, oh, I'm like, why is it sticking? Because it had a bit of glue from the flowers. Yes, there is a big leg, isn't there? I gotta waste time. Is that, yeah, I don't know. It's always, I mean, at least it's not cutting in and out like it was doing. I love technology. I mean, our Wi-Fi is good. I just don't know how all that stuff. Maybe because it's not, like maybe if I used a streaming service, it would be quicker. Matisse vibes. Yeah, it is pretty, isn't it? That kind of, okay, then we need a sentiment. And I wanted to pull out the, are they in the annual catalog? The mixed, the ephemera sentiments, the ones that are black and white. But I can, obviously I need to clean my craft room because I cannot find them. I was not very prepared today, so I had to prep today, and so didn't have as much time as I usually have to kind of get everything ready and organized, and so I could only spend so much time searching, and I probably wasted at least a half hour searching, and could not. I feel like they're in either like I packed a few paper pumpkin and kit boxes to bring with me to the lake when I went. And so I looked through those, but I didn't see them, but I don't know if I looked through all of the ones that I had taken because I had already unpacked them, but I just put them, oh dear. Oh, that's better. I thought maybe I put my fingers all over it too much. Let's just try and, the one thing with black and white is you want to get those white dots off. Otherwise, it doesn't look so good, I find. It looks messier. All right. Don't worry, I will show you the one with the stripes in a second. As soon as I get this done here. And then you can see which one is better. Or maybe you like them both. I feel like I like them both. They have different looks. All right, so this is from the sentiments from this suite. I think I'll just pop that up there. Okay, so there's with the flowers, and there's with the stripes. Yeah, there is a really big leg because I'm watching it. It's like, ooh, takes a while for it to get to the picture. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm going to be able to watch your live, Yolande. I don't have to run anywhere today, so hopefully I'll be able to watch at least some of it, if not all of it. Yeah, so I don't know. They're very different looks for sure, but I like them both. That's card number 1. All right, card number 2. You're gonna have to let me know what you think of this, because I'll tell you, hang on. I was attempting to do, I'd seen it from Meg Loven, and it was, well, I think she even got it from Stampin' Up, but it was kind of a non-coloring way to do the flower, and she did it on the bouquet designer series paper, but I got it in my head that I thought, ooh, white embossing powder on black paper would really be striking. And I do like the way it looks. I just find maybe it's not the best coloring for flowers. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. So this paper, which I thought, like, I wanted something that was kind of a little, not just solid black. So I went with this kind of swooshy paper, which came from the new Botanical Textures paper. It's this Botanical Textures. It's a full suite with, again, I don't know if it has, I think it only has 1 stamp set and dies, but it has 2 sets of different papers. So it has like this black and white stuff, and then it has textured, like woven textures, which are really cool. So this is the black and white one. So this is what I pulled it out of to get that look. And then I can't remember if I did this already. I'm losing track here. All right, so then this one, I'm just gonna clean it off because it has black on it, and I'm gonna use my Versamark. I actually should have used my Stamparatus for this, but I put, I could have pulled out my Stamparatus, I guess. A little bit easier, but you just have to make sure you ink it really well. And let me grab the white. Where did I put the white embossing powder? Keep it close by. And this one I'm going to center, but you'll see it ends up getting cropped. And here, maybe. Let that soak into the paper. Bring in the embossing powder. Oh, sorry. Fingernails going down the chalkboard. Okay. Then I'll keep that up. Even that's just, to me, that's super pretty just as is. But it's maybe I need to add a color, colored cardstock instead of, I used black and white. Or maybe for someone who loves black and white. I thought about using a sympathy stamp, but then I'm like, no, that's just, I almost like to give happy, brighter color stuff for, I don't know, like cheerful. Try and cheer people up versus this is reminding them how sad it is. Anyways. All right. So we've got our flower, and then instead of coloring on the inside, what we do is you add, sorry, this is getting low. You add an outline. So I'm adding white here just because I'm going with black and white. But if it was on a colored piece of cardstock or designer series paper, you could just find a matching, and I would use blends because it does, like, it's not as kind of as sharp of a line that you're doing. It spreads out and is a little more forgiving. I just sprayed the white pigment with water, so I can then, I have a old designated aqua painter that I use for this because it gets, as you can tell, it's super grungy. I don't think water would pass through it. I don't know if it would or not. I usually just keep it on the outside. And then with the embossing powder, it makes it much easier to follow the outline. And I'm just going to follow the outline of my stamp. Now I feel like I have, it's a bit more white than my other one. I did much more opaque. It was much more watered down, but we'll see. It usually kind of sinks in and becomes a little bit opaque either way. But so you can see it's much faster to do the outline than to try and color all the details. And it just makes it pop. So for those of you who do not like to color, or maybe don't have time to color, or just want to do something different, this still has the relaxing effect of coloring, but it's much quicker. And so if you don't have much time or patience, had a rough day, can totally just, and you could choose to do the inside like this, or you can leave kind of the inside parts. It's up to you. And voila, I'm hoping that this is going to become a little more opaque. I will show you the one that I did earlier. Let me just grab a wipe. I'll wipe that up. If I was smart, I would have a scrap piece of paper to wipe up all my, and have a really cool background in the end. But yeah, I didn't think black and white was something you'd want for sympathy. All right, so I've got that, and then I matted it with black, and then I cut a piece of silver foil to then crop it that way. So it's still centered, but I'm still cutting off a piece of my flowers. And then I think I'm gonna change, I'll do thank you instead. So here's my finished one. I did happy birthday. I think if I can find some embellishments to kind of I don't think I'd put colored, but maybe like the not champagne, the rhinestones, or maybe pearls. I'm not sure. What do you think? What can I add to this to kind of make it a little more? But yes, the opaqueness of this white I like because it's in the background and it makes the flowers pop. This one, I'm really hoping it's going to soak in as it dries. It looks like I have quite a bit of water here. So I'm going to wait to put that together. And I think for this one, so I used the Simply Said, which I really like the font of these, and it kind of has, I like the when it has the happy birthday all the way across, so you can do it in a single, or I think I'm going to do thank you for this one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But if a guy likes flowers, maybe he likes colors too. But even some women, I mean, people like black and white. I just want to zhuzh it up. But the silver kind of makes it a little fancier too. So anyways, that is the next. So, you know, like no coloring. And if you have like I said, the one that I saw, it was stamped onto just with black ink, so not embossed, and she stamped it onto this one, and then she used I think it was basic beige to do the outline, so it was really soft, but it still makes the flowers pop. So if you want to do something more colorful, the bouquet paper, beautiful bouquet, I think it's in the last chance items. I can't remember. It's probably even discounted, but I don't remember, and I didn't write it down. So that is card number 2. I will set this aside while it is drying. Let's put this on the side. And the third one, I'm using the other floral, which is the tulips, oops, which is all sticking together here. And I'm going to emboss it with gold. This one has a completely different look, but I do want to offset it. So oh yeah, I did end up cutting it out with a, so I'm just going to offset it a little bit, and then I'll offset it a little bit more, but I just want room so that I can offset it, because if you do it in the center and then you try to crop it, then you run out of paper and it doesn't work so good. All right, catch you later, Yolanda. Thanks for watching. Okay, so first I'm going to use my anti-static, especially with the metallic powders. Actually, any powder really, but this is the one I'm going to color, but I'm going to do a really quick coloring job. I'll go one more time, make sure it's so hard to see. And there's so much detail. Okay. Then we're going to pull out gold powder. This is the newest powder. The white that I have is old. We have the Wow powders now that Stampin' Up! Sells, and I'm really impressed with the metallics. I haven't tried the white and black. They come in packs of 3. So one is the metallics with gold, silver, and copper, I believe. And then the other pack is white, black, and clear, if my memory memory serves me right. And I really like how they melt, and even like our old gold, it used to leave like a brownish tinge, and this leaves no residue, which is great. So who wants residue and color on their white paper? Not me. Okay, so that's the gold. I'm just gonna make sure to wipe all the powder off of here. Then we'll heat this up, make it all shiny. So you don't have to emboss this by any means. You could stamp it. I just felt like some gold, some shine, especially after making the black and white. We're going completely opposite here. I'm going with you can see, and that's the other thing with this metallic, the Wow metallics, way shinier. Like our gold was never very gold. It was kind of, to me, it always looked like it was getting burnt. Whereas this one is super shiny and nice. And it's not new. I just kept my embossing powders forever and ever. It's been a couple of years, I think, since we've had the Wow powders. So if you've gotten your powders in the last few years, it's most likely the good stuff. All right, next. So as you may or may not know, if you color things that are embossed with your blends, it is not recommended because there's apparently a reaction that happens between the tip and the embossing powder, and it can break it down. A lot of people say they don't, and I actually used to color and didn't think it did anything, and I don't know if it's correlated or not, but down the road my tips started getting white and frayed, and it's not that I had colored anything else with them. It was just kind of over time, all of a sudden it would be like, oh. So I think it's a reaction that happens over time. I don't know for sure. I do know they don't recommend it. So if you want to save your blends, which, I mean, they're not cheap, and they're not, you know, you can't replace the tips or anything. So I feel like it's better to be kind to your So I decided, even though this is just basic white, I probably should have used at least thick, but I'm not putting a lot of water. You could use the blender pens if you don't like to use water on your paper, and you can do this exact same thing, you know, like I don't know if I have color on the tip. I should have checked. So you can, I think this tip is, this one's probably, it's looking pretty dry. This is an oldie. Some of these are original. Like these are some of the first products I bought, because you could use them with watercolor pencils, and so you could get lots of colors for very little investment, and then you could buy a pack of these, and you could, you know, you can scribble off the color and use them for the next color. So if you are just starting out, they are a game changer. Oof. Oh dear, I should have cleaned that off. I just put pink in there. Let's just dab up that pink. Okay, my coloring's taking longer than expected. Okay, let's make sure we get rid of color. Still got a bit of a hue. Okay, looks better. I guess I should have started with the purple because that's probably what I ended with. So I'm just going to come in, and with the embossing, it is super easy to paint inside the lines. It makes it kind of dummy proof, not dummy proof, but it makes like you can go really fast and be less likely to color outside of the lines and make an oops, as long as you have an idea of where you're coloring, because that can be the oops also. But you can see it's pretty quick to put the color down. And I really don't need a lot of water. Almost made an oops there. Colored some leaves that weren't leaves. And I mean, you could take your time and get, like, put some details and shading, and you could go crazy. Do as much or as little as you want. I'm just showing you that if you want something colored, it's doable without a ton of time and work. Okay, now let's get rid of this green. And we'll go to the lighter purple with a fresh freezer. And if you don't like putting water into your lids, you can always, and if you have a glass mat, you can just stamp your lid onto the, or use your refill and do it that way onto the glass so that you're not putting water into the base of your stamp pad. Again, longevity of your stuff, right? The other thing you can do is, if you're worried about the water, you can always just kind of dab up the excess water before closing it so you don't get too much water going into your stamp pads. I'm not going to bother cleaning up my other ink because it's so much lighter. I'm just going to add a little bit of the dark stuff here. Okay. And just dab up that water, but I'm still leaving the ink behind, right? Because that would be a, oh, I forgot to do my little flowers. So, you know, very not detailed, just quick. If you wanted to get detailed and do a lot more layers, I would definitely recommend using watercolor paper. I hadn't decided that I was watercoloring when I made this. I don't know where my lid is. I lost my lid. Anyways. Okay, so then I decided I wanted a bit of a fancier edge to this. So I pulled out the new textured notes, which matches, it's part of the suite of the paper from the black and white that I showed you. And then, so see if you at least off center it, you have more space to crop. Whereas if I put it in the center and I went to put it over, I would be out and I would have, it wouldn't work. So I'm just gonna run this through. These new rectangles are so pretty with the edging that they have. So this has a nice border to it on top of, so it's not just a stitched border, it's got a nice thing, and they're all different textures. Well, maybe not. So the biggest matches, so there's two the same, and then these two are different. So there's a variety. And then I cut out a fresh freezer piece to put behind it. And all you have to do for that is just measure. And it was nice. I actually found these are actually, a lot of times they're not, they're like the oddest of measurements, but this one is 3 1/4. So that makes it easy to go to 3 3/8. And then this one is 4 3/4. So then you can go to 4 7/8. And that makes it so much easier when you're trying to cut a background or even an insert for it. It makes it a lot easier. So that's that one. And here's the finished. I stamped the You're Pretty Wonderful, which is from the sentiment set, in gold as well. And I just fussy cut it and added it. And then I added the gold low profile dots that goes with the suite as well. So those are my 3 cards for today. Don't forget, there's my lid that I was looking for. Don't forget to go check out the last chance items. They are while supplies last. So they go, the heavily discounted stuff goes pretty quick. Yeah, isn't this pretty? This is like a really pretty Easter card, or just this time of year, spring, birthday, whatever card. Yeah, they're all different, and like you can see, you don't, you know, I could do a whole other series on actually coloring these and having fun with the coloring part, but you can also still look at these big prints, stamp prints, and not be afraid that, oh my God, it's going to take me forever to make these cards because I have to color them. You don't. You can make them very pretty and pop without a lot of coloring and effort. So quick and easy cards using big, bold stamps and cropping. All right. Hopefully you have a great rest of your week and weekend, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.